Hello everybody, and welcome back to the Little King story playthrough! So, we beat King Long Sauvage. And the Tiptoe Kingdom is now under our control. Beautiful! Makes me very happy when things like that happen, and ooh! Oh, it's just another school donation. Well, why the hell not? And ooh! Extraordinary news, you say, Hauser? Ooh, this is exciting. Success, eh? And, ooh, a brainy doctor has emerged, eh? That is so cool! So yes, just for doing all of those school donations, we get a brand new building, the hospital, and we get an entire job class out of it, which is just amazing. We will go find our brainy doctor eventually, not now I don't think, because it might be a while. But also we had enough money to get the rare armour, and that's basically everything that we are ever going to have to pay for in this game apart from training people up. So it's just like, oh my god! Oh, it feels so good to have reached this point in the game. And Jesus wept, we're 18 hours into this shebang. Whew! Like, it doesn't feel like it's been that long, but then I know it definitely is. I suppose it's just what happens when, like, you reach a point where you just end up getting swept away with things, and that is a lot of quests. This is all slightly terrifying, because the sky's splitting and everything is not looking good. So this is Fern's Princess Quest. We want to find the King Stones. I'm sure that'll easily be done. Those don't look important. God Mountain will be, and Forest Track Race is one that we're going to want to do because it has treasures in it. But I think I wanted to just go, right, I'll decide to do them a little bit later. Leave them in my inbox, and then I can go deal with them. This is what happens when you get the rare armour. You get this fella turning up, well, you get the rare armour just standing behind where the throne is, and it looks really cool. But once you do that, you actually get a new job class. So not only have we got a brainy doctor, we've also got whatever the hell that special job class is. Which means that we've only got very few special job classes remaining to pick up. Which is great, and also... So once you've reached around this point in the game, you'll start getting just updates on what the hell is going on, because there's nothing else to build. And unless somebody dies, there's no real news anymore. So you're just going to get an update on the status of your kingdom. But because it ends up being maybe a little bit too long, the text from that overlaps with the good luck for today, which is a bit of a mess. I don't know why it does it, but it is at least consistent in doing it. So I suppose it was just an oversight of an automated process. Either way, talk us through that quest, eh, Fern? So basically the Chaos Emeralds, eh? Well, it's a tough job, but I'm sure someone's gonna have to do it, and that someone will most definitely be me. Now, it is important that you do talk to merchants, because sometimes they will give you stones. It's also important that you send people into the houses around the kingdom, because they may surprisingly have one of the king stones. Obviously I'm going to show all of the king stones off. It's going to be perfectly fine, you'll know where we're going. But oh, already we've located one. Although it's in a place of the castle that we've not really ever had to try to get to. The way of getting to it is by going out through the stables. And because basically there is a hole in our wall, and initially I was thinking, is there a path that I haven't spotted that leads over there? No. There is a hole in the wall of our castle, which isn't great for if you wanted to, you know, actually defend the place, because any holes are bad news, really. It means people can get in through our fortifications. But if you just spot this little area here, run out this way, and we're outside our castle walls. And I suppose it's the back, but then it's forest there, so it's like they would be able to hide from us when they were attacking us, and get in as well. So it's not the most well thought out wall defense system I've ever seen in the world, but it allows us to get that Kingstone, so we're damn lucky for that, I should think. And obviously, since we have taken over Manjaro, we're going to have to climb all the way to the top, because we want the wonder spot that will have inevitably turned up there. Now, nothing is going to happen with this sign until we pick up God Mountain. Once we do, that is pretty much where God Mountain is going to be located. But Manjaro is now a nature reserve, and there is an overlook to nearest to heaven, right up at the top. So that's where we're going to go. And, oh look! It's Long Sauvage, upside down and being crazy. Yeah, he's pretty much just going to stay around here. He's basically like the crazy hobo person that just makes very little sense in the fact that he's here, but he decided he couldn't leave, possibly. But he's damn quick. But I have to say, I do like the fact that because we've taken over the place, we now have a lovely shortcut up to the top rather than having to go through all the bleeding tunnels. Because that would just be far too tedious. And, oh, this is all glorious, so what do you say, Sauvage? So he's upside down and backwards, eh? And he literally speaks backwards. It was good and bad back in the day. Smart is great. Anything else for us, mates, or are you just going to sit there or stand there? Either way, wonder spot for Manjaro, number 17, and that's glorious, and we can actually look out through this telescope. So we can see... Ooh. That looks interesting. But anyway, we can see our castle from here. And Liam, what are you doing on top of our podium? And, oh, that's a hole. And is this the red eye of God that everyone's been talking about? How very, very curious. I think that's something that will be worth investigating in the fullness of time. But for now, there's not really a whole lot we can do about it until Skinny Ray's flying machine is built. And obviously nobody really wants to help fund it, so it might be a bit of a while yet. We're going to try and obviously pick everything up, of course. But, Right. So we're going to head to Glamour Town, I think, because I'm going to try and pick up our brand new job person, or we're going to go from a different angle. Oh, no. We're going for the Plumerals, because that was located there. And also, this house is storing something from me. Give it here. Don't think you can hide that goodie from me. Oh, look. We got the sapphire. You see, we've already got 3 of the 7. Basically, all of the gems are located within your kingdom in some form or another. Whether they be in holes, in the ground, whether they be given to you by people, whether they be in houses. All of them are located inside your kingdom. Which, at the very least, makes everything easy to access, I suppose. Because you're never having to worry about being like, I don't know where I've got to hunt. Because just look around the kingdom. And also we've got an Akuma Marine. Playing off of Akuma, it seems. And obviously Aquamarine, duh. Oh, goody. The rest of my team managed to find me. I was slightly worried that they had all got entirely lost. They were just slow in picking up that I had moved on. I was a bit busy. So yeah, we've just got another couple of parts. So this one and the next one, I think, are essentially pick-up of quests and all that sort of good stuff. And then we'll be heading straight into the next kingdom. There's very little stuff at this point to do other than head to the next kingdom. And I mean, I say that quite regularly. I mean, I know there's all these quests, but we've got the Forest Track Race, which is dead quick, and we've got the God Mountain, which is... it can take a little while because there's a lot of building to go. There's quite a lot of battling to take place. So it can be quite challenging. You're probably going to be facing off against enemies which you haven't seen in a while, so you may have slightly forgotten how to take them down, and also they may be slightly terrifying to you, because there'll be a lot of them. But it'll get dealt with soon enough. And I think I'm going to go for that Forest Track Race. Which, oh god. So the Forest Track Race is easily one of the most infuriating side quest lines in the game. There's a grand total of 3 of them. You need to save the animals and pick up the quest and do it all in order. And basically all it is it's a foot race against a lovely bunch of animals. If you run into the animal, then you will just drop to the floor, which is irritating considering they turn and twist and they're kind of hard to avoid. But also, if you get too far ahead of them, they will rubber band. They will suddenly pick up a ridiculous amount of speed, and like that, and very quickly get ahead of you. So it's very much a case of tactics of when you put in your spurt. It's really not difficult to keep pace with them, but it's also very easy for situations like that to occur, where in this very tight enclosed space they just so happen to ram into you at the least opportune moment and trounce you to the finish line. Thankfully, you can just keep coming back every day and give it a go. I was gonna be a cheeky sod and just be like, can I just cut out my failures? But then I thought, you know what? The quests are really annoying. And it's good to see that sometimes it is just luck in how you tackle it. Like, you can... obviously, you've got your tactics, which will help. But it just depends whether everything falls into place as to whether you will win those quests. Which is... it's irritating. You have no idea the amount of times that I have been, well, wanted to pull my hair out with how that quest worked, but either way, we are heading on towards God Mountain. So we'll set our Giga Carpenters to work on that staircase and start sending in our soldiers to attack all these mushrooms. And, oh! There's a Mush Elder. And yes, he works exactly as you would expect him to. So, he will do that massive head growing thing. And he can be really deadly. Like, this area can be dangerous. That's why I would argue that it's probably one of the most challenging god quests in the game. Because there are a lot of mushrooms. I mean, there's one bit where, one section where I think you've got to face down about 2 or 3 Mush Elders. Which is just ludicrous, really. Guys, you can, you know, destroy the mushroom now, please. Good. So yeah, this one's a bit of a challenge. But anyway, art piece number 59, Browgeddon. Nice. As I really like the fact of people are becoming quite fond of bigger eyebrows these days. Because, like, my eyebrows are quite hefty and quite prominent. It's because I've got a relatively large forehead and a relatively resting furrowed brow. It kind of sits forward quite a bit. So, and then my eyebrows are just very expressive. So the fact that they are probably thicker than some average ones just make it that they are very expressive. Because I just get, like, just the eyebrow lift. Big fan of the eyebrow lift. Great little manoeuvre. Great for showing sarcasm. But yes, this is what you're going to be having to do throughout this section, is lots of obliterating mushrooms. And it can be slightly chaotic because sometimes it's impossible to see which ones are the enemies and which ones aren't. So they might be attacking you, they might not. It's really difficult to tell. Then there are sort of multiple paths that you can take. But I say multiple paths insofar as in there's a high path and a low path, both of which lead to exactly the same location. So really you're probably better off tackling the lower path because it's got a hole in it which you're going to want to dig up because it has goodies in it and goodies that you're going to want. And guys, come on. Chop chop. It's only a bleeding mushroom, mate. And good they got rid of it. And thank God that wasn't an enemy because just like it seemed to be in the prime position for being an enemy, but it wasn't. And we have another hole, and oh, that is a big Mush Elder. Now, obviously, the reason that healing fountain thing is there is because you've got enemies that can poison you around here. So that's what that's for. But really, it's not something I ever use. So, I mean, why would you? Because poison doesn't really do much. Anyway, art piece number 78, Machiroria, which is a massive bloody mushroom. Lovely. And here we go. Time to take on a massive Mush Elder. And, guys, oh, that was good. I was very nervous going into that fight. Very nervous. But thankfully we got in there in time and just obliterated him. always like it when you can just decimate something in a matter of seconds, because it just makes you... Well, for starters, it's very satisfying to achieve. But then also, it just means that people are less likely to get hurt. So, it just makes me feel better in general, really. And come on, mates, you're nearly there. Want to have God Mountain done before the day is over, please. I mean, to be fair, all they need to do is dig up a hole and then we're pretty much sorted. Because if we head over here, this hole houses our God Mountain quest completion. No enemies are going to pop out of it, because, I mean, why would they? Would just beaten up all of the bleeding mushrooms. And yeah. So guys, just hop to it. You're so close. And voila! We've got one of the fabled parts required to complete the Wondrous Flying Machine. We've got my beard. Well, it's Long Savage's beard, but I suppose it's ours now because we have taken ownership of the beard. But this game is weird. You may have realised that by now. Now, if I recall correctly, there is going to be a hole around here and something will be in it. It seems like the primary location for such a thing to be real, so I pray I'm correct, otherwise I'm going to look like a fool. Oh! Wasn't a hole, but it was an art piece. Number 94, Rebellious Imp. Spelt incorrectly, I might add. But oh well. Rebellious is a little bit of a difficult word for kids to spell, so can't kick up too much of a fuss about it. But I think we've made quite a bit of dough today. It's not really going to do us anything, because money is worthless right now, apart from... Okay, Liam, what's the matter, mate? But Liam, we paid you your bleeding bonus, you ungrateful sod. Yes, sir. And you're the one looking down your nose at people because you're standing up there like that and you're just going looking down. We're too small, we have to look up people's noses. Some people, eh? I think after that, I'm just going to need to go to bed. Just try and wake up the next day and I just want to complete that quest. Where's my extra bit of food? Oh, we've got 4 of the 7, Jesus. We picked them up bleeding quickly. Anyway, bedtime.